In a crowded, sun-baked neighborhood of Dhaka, a young boy named Arush sat by a dusty window, tapping his fingers against a wooden table. While other children played cricket in the narrow alleys, Arush's world was entirely consumed by sound. He didn't just hear the noise of the city. He heard music in the rhythmic clatter of a passing rickshaw and the steady thrum of rain against tin roofs. His ultimate dream was to create music. Specifically, the energetic, pulse-pounding beats of a Bollywood or Bangladeshi item song. He wanted to make tracks that would make entire crowds jump to their feet. However, his current reality offered no stage and no audience. Arush worked part-time at a small local electronics repair shop, fixing broken radios and tangled wires. He didn't own any fancy equipment, just a worn-out smartphone and a pair of cheap earphones. Every day, the heavy reality of his life seemed to mock his ambitions. The Symphony of Doubt. Whenever Arush tried to focus on the melodies in his head, a dark, familiar voice would interrupt him. The inner critic was relentless. It told him he was foolish for dreaming so big when he barely had enough money for the bus fare. It reminded him that the music industry was reserved for people with connections, formal training, and expensive studios. "You are just a boy fixing broken radios," the voice would sneer. "Nobody wants to hear a beat made on a cracked phone. You will never be a music director." For a long time, Arush believed this voice. He kept his music hidden. He would spend hours at night creating complex, energetic rhythms using free apps on his phone, only to delete them by morning, convinced they weren't good enough. He was paralyzed by the fear of being laughed at, letting the music die inside his head before anyone else could hear it. Tuning the frequency. One afternoon, while repairing an old, oversized stereo for a customer, Arush found a cassette tape wedged inside. It wasn't music, but a recording of a lecture on the power of the mind and the law of assumption. Intrigued, he plugged his earphones into the stereo and listened. The speaker's words hit him like a physical force. The lecture explained that a person's external world is a direct reflection of their internal beliefs. If he constantly saw himself as a struggling repair boy with no future, that is exactly what he would remain. To change his reality, he had to change his internal frequency. He had to assume the identity of the successful music producer he wanted to become before the success actually arrived. Arush realized he had been composing his own tragedy. He decided that day to stop listening to the inner critic and start composing a new reality. The practice of believing. Arush began his mental rewiring the very next morning. It felt awkward at first, but he committed to the process. When he woke up, before his feet even touched the floor, he closed his eyes and vividly imagined a specific scene. He didn't just picture a vague idea of success, he visualized the exact moment a massive crowd heard his track for the first time. He imagined himself standing behind a DJ console in a massive club. He could smell the fog machine and feel the heavy bass vibrating through the floorboards. He saw thousands of people dancing wildly to the explosive drop of his item song. He felt the intense rush of adrenaline and the profound sense of accomplishment. He practiced this visualization until the emotions felt entirely real. He began to carry this feeling with him throughout the day. While soldering wires at the shop, he stopped feeling like a repairman and started acting like a producer who was simply taking a temporary break. His posture straightened. He stopped apologizing for his dreams. When his inner critic tried to whisper doubts, he immediately replaced the thought with a firm affirmation. "My beats bring people joy. My music is necessary. I am a successful producer." Most importantly, he started actively creating again, but this time he didn't delete the files. He poured all his energy and newfound confidence into a specific track, a high-energy, infectious Bangladeshi-style item number with a heavy, driving beat. The echo of action. Arush knew that belief needed to be paired with action. With his track finally finished, he needed people to hear it. He didn't have the funds to market it, so he turned to the internet. He created a YouTube channel, carefully designing a bright, bold thumbnail that captured the energetic vibe of his song. He uploaded the track and shared the link on every social media platform he could access. He sent it to local DJs, dance groups, and independent filmmakers, expecting nothing but hoping for everything. Then, he waited. The first week, the video barely got 50 views. The silence was deafening. The inner critic returned louder than ever. It said, "See," it whispered, "I told you it was a waste of time. You're embarrassing yourself." It was the ultimate test of his new mindset. Arush felt the familiar sting of disappointment, but he remembered the lecture. He had to maintain the frequency of success even when the evidence hadn't shown up yet. He refused to delete the video, he continued his morning visualizations, and kept working on his next track, choosing to trust the process. The breakthrough beat. 3 weeks later, Arush was at the repair shop, struggling with a stubborn circuit board, when his phone buzzed. It was a notification from YouTube, then another, and another. His phone began to vibrate continuously. Confused, he opened the app. A popular local dance crew had stumbled upon his track, choreographed a high-energy routine to it, and uploaded their video, linking back to his original song. Their video had gone viral overnight, and thousands of people were flooding Arush's channel to find the source of the infectious beat. The comments were a blur of excitement. People were asking where they could download it. DJs were asking for the stems to remix it. And suddenly, his subscriber count was climbing by the minute. A few days later, he received an email that made his heart stop. It was from an independent film director in Dhaka who was looking for an explosive item song for his upcoming movie. He had heard Arush's track and wanted to meet him to discuss composing original music for the film. The stage is set. A year later, Arush stood at the back of a packed movie theater during the premiere of that very film. When the item song sequence began, the entire theater erupted. The bass was heavy, the rhythm was undeniable, and the crowd was cheering and clapping along to the exact beat Arush had created on his cracked phone in his small room. As he watched the audience react to his music, he realized the profound truth he had learned. The music hadn't changed, and his equipment hadn't changed until he had a reason to upgrade it. What had changed was his mind. By silencing his inner critic, visualizing his success, and acting with the confidence of the person he wanted to become, he had tuned his life to a completely different frequency. Arush learned that the universe doesn't respond to desperate wishing, it responds to the unwavering belief that what you want is already yours.